Good morning and welcome to the Metal Collector. It's been a while since the last upload, actually almost a year, and the reason is that there has been a lot of other projects going on in my life. But the other day I got some comments on one of the other videos I did here, and it was from a man in the States called Dan Powers. And thank you, bro, for bringing me back into this Metal Collector. Because I've missed doing these videos, even though I didn't do so many back then. But now I'm back, and I'll try and see if I can get more videos up here on the Metal Collector. And today it's going to be a fun little video, not very long, but it's going to be with I don't even know what to call it, but you can say a little look on some of the specialarities, that was a difficult word, specialarities here in my collection. Maybe some of them aren't that difficult to find today, but some are, and I know some are pretty almost impossible to get your hands on. So these are some of the hidden gems and some of the stuff that I'm happy to have in my collection. So stay tuned, here goes the Metal Collector, funny stuff from the collection. Alright, let's get down to business. The first thing I want to show you is this little piece. I don't know if you can, yeah, you can see it out there. This is a lot of the stuff I'm going to show you will be from the Danish collection because I'm from Denmark, and a lot of the stuff I collect. I'm a huge collector of Danish metal, and so yeah. But this is just so you're prepared. But anyway, this is from the Danish doom metal king Saturnus, a band that have been around since actually since the early 90s. They started under another name, and then they started out playing death metal, but changed it to this doom metal. Paradise Belongs to You was the debut album, and if you know Saturnus, you would recognize the cover. It's the same as from the album, but this is the promo tape before they released the first album, and actually it was never released or shipped out to that many people. 50 copies, yeah, and it wasn't shipped out for that many people because they got a record deal before that. And the songs on this is the same. There are 6 of the songs that also are on Paradise Belongs to You, and it's the same songs. It's not demo versions of the songs, so it's a promo tape, and 50 copies. And the story behind how I got my hands in this little piece is I was attending a wedding. I had a friend, I still have him, me and my friend was going to this wedding, and Thomas, the lead singer, we had to stay at his apartment to sleep over. And when we got back from that wedding, he was also at the wedding, and when we got back, we sat down and talked, and he also had a nice collection, and I was checking it out, and I found this, and I said, well, I didn't know that Paradise Belongs to You actually was released on tape. And he said, no, it's the promo version, and he told the story I just told you. And I said, well, are there copies left of this somewhere that because as a collector you would ask about that sort of stuff. Anyway, I was asking him if there were any copies left that he knew of, and he said maybe he had a couple of them left up in his attic. And he went up there and came down with 2 after looking in some old boxes. He had 2, one for my friend and one for me. And it's just, okay, 50 copies. And I love Saturnus. It has always been one of my favorite Danish bands, and also one of my favorite doom metal bands ever. And if you don't know the band, you should definitely check them out, because it's, if you're into doom metal, Paradise Belongs to You, the first album, and actually the rest of the stuff is also great, but especially the first one. But I'm very happy for this tape because it's not many copies, and you know, as a fan, it's just It's just cool to have in your collection. That was the first thing. Now the next thing is also from Denmark. It's a single with a band called Mirage. Um, they are not so famous, I would say, outside of Denmark, and but they were one of the early bands that we had in Denmark, and they released an EP before they vanished, and they got back together again a couple of years ago and did some concerts. But now I think the band changed the name from Mirage to another name. Can't remember that. I can't remember that name now. Something with goblin or something. Can't remember. But anyway, Mirage. They before the EP they released this 7 inch single. Shave It All Off and Saving Love. That was the name, yeah. And if you can look at this, this is, I would say, pretty fun. Um, the year it was released was, let's see, was that in? I am not sure about the release year, but it's definitely it's from the 80s. Yeah, can't seem to find anything. Anyway, it's an old piece, and the color itself for its time, I think it's fun. Um, and it's I know there's a lot of other collectors of Danish metal that are seeking this piece because it's not so easy to find these days. And the way I found this was we had a local second-hand store with books and music and LPs and all kinds of stuff. And I was looking at all the 7 inches, and they had like I don't know 20 boxes of some this size with a filled up with these, and all of it was just shit. It wasn't my taste. It wasn't anything for me or you, I would say probably. But suddenly this was there, and it cost I think it was 10 crowns or something, 10 Danish crowns. It's a little bit over €1. And if you know what it's worth, check it out on eBay or Discogs. I can't remember. I was in looking at it, and you could easily get, I would say, a couple of hundred Danish crowns for this in the right hands. So yeah, this is also Mirage. I really enjoy the EP they did, and this is fun to have because it's a part of their disco and history. So I'm very happy to have this in my collection. And if you don't know Mirage, check them out. Now the next thing is Iron Maiden's Peace of Mind. This is a little special release because I don't know what release it is, um, what print it is, but it has a misprint in it because you see Iron Maiden on the cover, and the next page also Maiden. Yeah, here we go. Where Eagles there and the lyrics, and suddenly after this it changed over to another band's lyric, and that is it's pretty. It's I actually one time I found out what band it was. I forgot it now. In the Midnight Hour and Oh Yeah by Ferry. And if you go into the middle section, it's back to Iron Maiden again. So this is without doubt, it's a misprint, but I don't know how rare it was until a friend of mine talked to a huge Iron Maiden collector and asked him about it. And he said it's not that rare, unfortunately, but it's still fun to have. And back in the days when I got this, I was just, what is going on? I didn't know what the fuck yeah. I was before the internet really exploded, so I couldn't just go in and take a look. But the Peace of Mind, the failed print, is, I think it's fun to have. Anyway, now here comes the first version of Pantera's Far Beyond Driven, the classic one with the asshole getting drilled. um, like it was with Guns N' Roses' Appetite for Destruction, they had to change the cover artwork because the record company found it a little bit too brutal. And I don't know, at this time in 90 94, I think, yeah, 94, 95. At this time when this got out, I still think, you had Cannibal Corpse cover. I know they were also banned in some places, but I don't think that's that bad. It's just an ass getting plowed. But this is again, I don't know that much about this specific release other than it's the first one with the asshole getting drilled. It was what everybody talked about. But then I had a friend that said it was released actually in two versions or something. There was a double vinyl, and there was this, uh, yeah, just one vinyl. And he said that the one vinyl was a little bit more rare than the double up, but I don't know. But I have to check that out at a point. I just think it's fun to have the original cover artwork for Far Beyond Driven. Actually, I think I want to listen to it today, a little bit later. Oh, come on. Yeah. Now, now I want to take you back to the Danish metal again. Sosa Metz released this in '91, and Sosa Metz was, I don't know if it was a project band or if it was a real band, and they had some plans with it, but it was Merciful Fate guitar players Hank Sherman and Michael Denner who got back together and wrote this album, and they teamed up with Klaus Weiergang. Yeah, that little shit over there, because he had a Danish program in the TV called Metalfabrikken, in English, the Metal Factory. So, and he was a fun guy, and he played the bass. So, and then you had a guy called Lutke on the vocals. This, I think it's a good album. I definitely do. But what I think it's a little bit more interesting. It's how difficult it is to get your hands on, and it's not just the vinyl. It's also the CDs. It's so expensive that I don't. I know it's Hank Sherman and Michael Denner and legendary guitarist and Merciful Fate in this, and I'm a huge fan of their work. Uh, but it's very expensive to get your hands on. Luckily, I had at that time I was seeing a girl who wanted to surprise me at my birthday, so she found it on the net, on the internet, and wow, and brought me this. So I was very happy, man. And this is I don't know how many copies it was made, but it's pretty. It's a little bit difficult to get your hands on today, I would say. Now, yeah, okay. I don't know if this will be the last, but it will definitely be something. Back to Iron Maiden again. Metal Archives, the box. This is just, yeah. It's been a while since I last opened it. You see all these nice stuff. This, when I think at the local record store, when I heard that this piece was coming out, I wrote myself up for one and I said, uh, please bring back, take one home to me. That is, yeah, please take one home to me. There was a shots glass never used, of course, and you have this piece of paper only unfolded once. That was just when I got the box set. Come on. With their lineup, the complete lineup. And then you have a whole ton of Iron Maiden stuff collected here. Old live concerts and old B-sides from the singles and all kinds of good Iron Maiden. Beast over Hammersmith concert is also there. So this is, again, it's Iron Maiden. I think they did a lot of copies, so many of their fans could get their hands on one. But I was just lucky. I was not lucky. I was just happy that I got my hands on one of these, especially for some of the songs. Again, the internet. I think it was released in 2004, something like that. And yeah, I used the internet, but not as much as I do today. So, and I don't think that so many of the songs that you can find in here was on the social media. That's it. But when I got this, there was a whole bunch of songs. Those two Blaze Bayley songs I've never heard before, leftovers from the X Factor album, and some cover versions of different kinds of bands. So this is, I'm very happy to have this in my collection. Iron Maiden, Metal Archives. All right, should we take the last thing for today and then say that was it? Another box set with the mighty Venom, the MMV. And again, I think there was a lot of copies created from this. Of this. Excuse me, my English isn't that great. And you have a poster, which is a little fun piece. They had a copy of an old, a reprint of an old concert poster where they played with, oh, who's this? Yeah, Metallica, before they went big. Back then when Venom was the biggest of all these bands. And not just a poster, but you also get this insanely cool book with a ton of pictures, of course, but also the whole story behind Venom and the ups and downs and all this. You have to think that all of this was, of course, being the collection was being created. Let's just say that created by Kronos. So I don't think that Mantis or Abaddon had that much impact on this. So, but again, one of the main reasons to get your hands on this is because all of these rare songs and old stuff that has never been released and old stuff that was released, and you know there are 4 CDs, you know, 4 CDs, and it's from remixes to singles to outtakes to bonus tracks to everything. It's just a complete Venom greatest hits and even more. And 2 CDs more here. That was, oh come on, yeah. Can you see it up there? Yeah. I'm just I love Venom, and this I was happy to get my hands on this box set as well, especially because of all the songs that in so many different versions, and I've never, a lot of them I have never heard of, and are difficult to find on other releases. So the MMV Venom box set. There's also a good massive piece of metal. This, look at that playlist. It's insane. So yeah, but okay, this was I think this video was actually became a little bit longer than I expected, so sorry for that. But just to say that the Metal Collector is back in some way, and I'll try to do some more videos within the next couple of days perhaps. I'll give myself time to do this because it's fun to dig into old stuff again. So yeah, thank you for watching, and like, dislike, comments, share, do whatever you want. I'll be back here next time at the Metal Collector. Thank you for watching. Metal.